Everyone, this is BYM, the greatest man alive, and today is going to be the continuation of the garden series, where I finally put some plants in the ground and get the garden up and running in earnest. Hope you all enjoy.
So here you can see me tilling the planter, and this will solve the problems of weeds springing up in the future, as well as the problems of the plants not getting enough oxygen through their roots, because it will loosen up the soil that had been hardened from lack of water, and it will remove the roots of the weeds and grasses that can spring up when we water the plants in the future. So now that the planter had been prepped with the tilling, it was time for us to finally put the plants into the ground. And you can see Aiden and I put this marigold into the ground first, and it was the inaugural plant, you could almost say. There was more to come. As we began planting, Aiden and I quickly developed a system where we planted one flower, and then directly next to it we decided to put an herb or something that really, in contrast, had much less color. We did this to brighten up the planter so that we avoided having monotone plants near each other, so that everything didn't look just green, and we had some pops of color with the flowers next door. After spending an hour longer on the planting process, we had planted marigold, sage, cilantro, parsley, and chamomile, and many more, just because we had known that those are the most vulnerable plants in our collection, and we wanted to ensure that they had the best chance of survival. We saved the remaining plants that seemed like they were doing just fine in their temporary potting, and for the next time when we would have more people and a lot more daylight.
That's a lot of water.
Okay, watering is going on right now.
It goes fast though. The water goes fast.
Oh yeah. So because of the dry times we've been having in LA, it was really important that we water these plants right when we put them into the ground, just to make sure that they had the best chance of surviving into the future, as we'd already seen them wilting and dying right before our eyes, even though we'd only purchased them the day before. Alright, that's the end of planting for day one. We'll see, it was a pretty successful mission, I would say, for the first day. Alright guys, it's the next day, and we planted quite a few more plants already so far. Last time you saw this, we had nothing really back here, so we planted some thyme, a few more marigolds. We kind of repeated it, kind of making it a little bit more themed, so it's not like just haphazardly put random plants in different places. Then we added some rosemary here as well. Finished out this row. Right now I'm trying to expand a little bit towards this direction because we have a lot of like extra topsoil that I haven't yet cleared. Yaakov is helping me, but I'm trying to till it right now and get rid of this, I guess, nutrientless topsoil, and to get to this bottom soil that seems like it's a lot healthier. We've also planted some oregano here, and then some more of these flowers that are called midget mixes, and that's about it so far. I guess we'll keep you posted on what we do next. All right, so we're working on this front row right now, and we decided on a scheme of just going from alternating mints and marigolds. So I'm gonna plant this mint here right now. So here you can see, as I put my shovel into the ground, that I encounter some noticeable trouble. And that's just due to the fact that these weeds and grasses that we tried to eliminate through the tilling have not really been completely eradicated and removed from the planter. And so we're worried that these roots will still come back and haunt us and lead to more grasses arising and kind of choking the plants. But luckily, that fear was baseless, and we've had nothing to worry about. As I put this mint plant into the ground now, I really had no idea that this would be probably the most successful plant that we introduced into our gardening space. And because of this, I highly recommend that you put it into your own gardens, because really there's no downside to it because of how helpful it is to have around, because it's such a tasty plant, and then it really doesn't take so much to maintain. Just a little bit of water and it can really take care of itself. So definitely consider it. So I have to say this was quite a fulfilling process, and now you can see the finished product of the plants that we got from Hashimoto Nursery and Animal Lumber. And I have to thank Yaakov and Aiden for their help in planting this part of the Eula garden. And because of their help, we were able to attract more people to our club, and now I'll show you what we did with those guys. So before I actually go into everyone coming together to create the garden and expand it, I first need to go into how we got the plants in the first place and what my plan was to complete the garden. So you can see here a variety of new plants that I picked out, such as fernleaf lavender that you can see now, Acosta succulents with their orange and reddish flowers, sweet peas which will have a mixture of purple, white, and pink flowers, gazanias which are very hardy and have nice yellow flowers, chrysanthemums which I actually learned are edible, purple kale, as well as white kale which has flowers in the future, butterfly bushes, which I know will attract a lot of different fauna that I would love to have in the garden, and lastly, Cassandras, which seemed interesting. And we kept in mind the price for all of these items, and we were able to squeeze them into the $100 budget that we had been given, which was great. So the next day came, and we were really zealous about our planting because we wanted to make sure that the plants remained intact and nothing happened to them because of the hot sun and the dry air. And so we thought that planting them in the ground and giving them water that way would be the most effective way of keeping them alive. And so we started the process with putting in the purple flowering kale as well as the sweet peas. And then we alternated with a row of sweet pea and gazanias. We couldn't have done all of this without the help of Baron, who was the first new member that we had, besides for Yaakov and Aiden. So it was nice to have him, and it was really the start of a lot more participation in the garden. So as you can see, there are quite a few more people here than Aiden, Yaakov, and I, and all of this happened after I had posted about getting some more people participating in the garden and how Baron had already helped us, and so everyone saw all the great things that we were doing on the environmental chat, which was basically the way I had broadcasted everything that I was doing to the school, and it was really great fun to have everyone around for the greater good of the garden and all of us having the same common goal in mind. What was also cool was that as word started to get around, we started to get some members of the staff coming in to check it out, such as our favorite custodian, Willie. So that was pretty nice to see, and we appreciate all the support.
Guys, that's a wrap for the second garden video. Hope you all enjoyed it. I'll be sure to continue to make videos documenting the process, especially because I realize how much I like looking back on things and seeing how things have developed. And it's really just interesting for me, and I think I'm starting to have a new phase of the garden now where we're going to be sowing some seeds directly rather than going to get some plants from the stores because it's more cost effective, and I'll also be able to plant more of a variety of plants, and so I'll continue to push out some videos into the future, and I'll even branch out into videos besides for gardening. So look forward to that, and hope you all have a good day or night wherever you are.